because nothing costs $1 anymore. So you 2 pennies each time you go up $1. Louise, okay, you do the fucking math in your head. I'm getting tired of your shit. You don't ever buy me nothing. See, every time you come around, you got to bring Jim, James, Paul, and Tyrone. Half a day, my Carnesia. My name is Troy Torres with Candid News, and we're gonna have a lively discussion tonight. But as we were, sorry about the time, what had happened was, and this is the best way I can describe it because I don't actually understand technology too well, is Eric was creating the package about Tyrone that you're about to see, and the Creative Cloud that the program was on crashed, and the timeline didn't appear or something, and so he had to recreate. Well, he and our other friend had to recreate this whole thing, and that's what took us so long. But while that was happening, some MDL drama went down. Actually, it wasn't even. It was on Johnny's page first, and then Alicia Kanata or Timmy Tuner decided to transfer that shit onto MDL. So wait, hold on. Let me just go to it. It's about some bitch named Jenna Chrysostomo. So Jenna Chrysostomo is this pariah upon society who I have no idea why she's not in jail, but she. Hold on. Where's Johnny's page? She went down. She went down maybe like 2 years ago, I think, along with a guy named Sean Johnson who's in jail. He likes to wear tutus and he likes to get fucked in the ass with big black dildos. That was her boyfriend at the time, and I didn't realize that was not her boyfriend anymore. Apparently, Jenna Chrysostomo's boyfriend is some guy named Pat Manabusin, who tried to get involved in Johnny's relationship, and so Johnny let her have it, and him, and she posted. This is just such a fucking troublemaker. Go ahead and go to my screen, Cello, so people can see this. So she posted this thing. It says, "Oh, you heard rumors about me from a complete train wreck who doesn't have her shit together and has nothing. Go on." She fucking tagged. She fucking tagged the neighborhood on this. And so I didn't know what it was about. But then she tagged this guy named Pat Manabusin, and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck is this?" And she says, "A picture." So, well, why the hell are you tagging me, Leche? And Johnny says, "Why not? Control your gangster bitch unless it's your bitch ass mouth." Okay, so I may be like the mouthpiece most of the time on this news station, but I'm definitely not the one to be scared of. Like, you fuck with Johnny, and oh my god. Okay, so Alicia Kanata and her business talks out. She says, "I'm just here for the comments." And so then so the subject of this whole thing comes about, and it's Jenna Chrysostomo. And so she writes here in like some language we're all supposed to understand. LMFAO, hella fucking hard, number one, Johnny Rosario, you fucking trick ass, dirty, ratchet, stanky, ugly, homewrecking, snitch ass bitch. If you got anything, and I mean anything at all, bitch, then come get at me, cause I would. Okay, so like it's just a whole bunch of threats and stuff, right? And like some, it's I don't know how she passed the third grade. But then Johnny says, "Jenna Chrysostomo, fucking thief." That's all she says. This girl goes wild, right? And she starts posting up all anyway. So like everybody comes to Johnny's defense, not that she needs it, but like like it just happened. And Johnny says, "That's your faggot boyfriend's messages, stupid. I was warning him." And then Johnny like goes for the kill. She says, "How the big black dildo tastes after I shove it up your man's ass." And that actually did happen. That is real. Oh my god, this girl picked the wrong fight. And she's talking shit about Johnny, like, oh, now that you have this audience, now, yeah, she has this audience. What do you think? Of course, she's gonna wax your ass with it. Maya Boo Guerrero said, and I don't even know who she is, but I love her. She goes, oh Lord, Jenna Crisostomo again, bitch is retarded. Stop making fake profiles posing as yo man, sick crackhead. Oh my good lordy. So, in closing on this subject, I just want you to know that as this girl, Jenna Crisostomo, is like spewing all of this, this crackhead, retarded shit out her mouth, that she and Renee Mesa had to pantsy down for Louis Hokuk, bless his heart, rest in peace. And Louis sent them off with a quad, not each, together. So that makes each of them dollar hoes. And then some change, if you do the math, it's like a little more than $1 each. So enough of that. I just thought that was really funny and something to start off the show. That's going to replace Name That Lesbian and, and tales of people's phone calls for the night. So, as Jenna Crisostomo has been, I guess, doing her thing and talking shit about Johnny, Johnny has been busy investigating a very, very interesting story about Tyrone Taitsino. Now, for those of us who've been in the political world, Tyrone Taitsino's name has been a fixture. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Tyrone Taitsino's name has been a fixture in political households because, well, he comes from one of those elitist Democrat families. And he's always been involved in Guam politics for as long as I can remember, and as far back as the Gutierrez administration as I can remember. And before that, when he was working with former Senator Joe San Augustine, who used to, when it was the old Guam Congress building, before the renovations, before it was closed down and all that shit, the second floor of the Guam Congress building was just this open space where all of the hold on one second. Charlie, do I need some time? Did you see our friend's message?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which.
Do we need some time? Do I need to? Cause I have like 5 more minutes of talking about this. Do we need more than that?
Yeah, we might, because she wants me to delete this one.
Okay, and to upload a new one?
She's uploading a new one, but I'm going to have to convert it from there.
From this computer?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
You have to do it. I'm sure you guys wouldn't mind if we had to do like 5 minutes of conversion work here. Here, like, why don't you go ahead and start doing it from here, and I'll just talk into the camera.
I think she's exporting it now. It's not ready.
Okay, so sorry, we're having to replace one of the hold on. Chelu? I'm right here. Yeah. No, I know. We're going to switch it out now. Eric has to come to the computer and do that. So I'm just going to keep talking while he does that. She said it's exporting, right? Okay, thanks. So, while all of the technical stuff is happening, Eric has to come to the computer to do this. I'll just chat up about Tyrone Taitsino. So Tyrone Taitsino, back in the day when he was just a lackey in the political world, he used to work for former Senator Joe San Augustine. And this was when They had the Guam Congress building. It was its original structure, and on the second floor, all of the staffers and all of the senators worked. Like they had 21 senators and all of their staff working on the second floor. It was an open space concept. And staffers remember all the time hearing former Speaker Joseph Augustine just laying right into Tyrone, the little faggot, like Tyrone, come here, goddammit, son of a bitch, you stupid motherfucker! I fucking told you don't do that shit. What a loser! Oh my god, I remember.
You good, Charlie?
I'm good.
I'm just gonna try to shake.
I mean, I've been yelled at. I've been yelled at by like type A personality bosses. Right, boss? And I've been yelled at in public, but not like that. And you know what? I gotta hand it to Tyrone. Took it like the little bitch he is, you know? It's just like Sean Johnson. Took that big black dildo up his ass. Right before Jenna Chrysostomo cleaned it with her tongue. So, he's been a fixture in Guam politics for a very long time. And after his stint at the legislature, former Governor Carl Gutierrez gets elected governor of Guam. And Tyrone does a few stints during the Gutierrez administration. And much of the report that we're going to bring you tonight has a lot to do with those years. See, if any of you can remember the outcome of the Gutierrez administration, former Attorney General Doug Moylan went after them hard. When the Gutierrez administration was over, Doug Moylan takes his place as the island's first elected Attorney General, and he files some like 161 indictments against the former governor, and a bunch of indictments follow. Former Senator Sonny Shelton actually went to jail. I think that was federal though. Former Senator Marilyn Manabusin, former Senator Tommy Tanaka, the former heads of the Guam Mass Transit Authority at the time. Just a whole bunch of people went down for corruption charges in both local and federal court. Ogil Shinahara, the governor's former chief of staff, he was one of them, but for an unrelated thing. There were so many rumors and allegations of corruption, and on the flip side of it, to be fair, there were a lot of allegations that the supposed corruption of the Gutierrez administration was manufactured by Washington, D.C. lobbyists led by Jack Abramoff, the infamous lobbyist who probably is still in jail, because of contracts that Jack Abramoff had with elements of the Republican Party on Guam, but deep pockets from the Republican contingency from the CNMI regarding labor and eventually gambling. So, hold on. It's iced tea. I'm chawed, yes. So, Tyrone was one of the, not a kitchen cabinet member, but he was high up there in the Gutierrez administration. And it was because of who his family is. Part of that elitist Democrat whole, this is just bullshit, right? So he was a special assistant to the governor, one of a few. And at one point, he was the administrator of the Guam Memorial Hospital. In a stint that he had with the Guam Planning Commission, Tyrone, and he's quoted, and there are all these news articles that we're able to dig up. And by the way, like, we would have never done this had his wife, Senator Kelly March Taitano, not lied to us so much in the interview that we had with her, because that's the signal to us that they're hiding something. So of course we're digging, and we're going all the way back, and we've dug up so much. Johnny has this piece that it's gonna floor you. So he was on this Guam Planning Commission. He's quoted as saying that, you know, the hospital is in complete disrepair. They can't even get infection-free tools that they need. What's that?
It's exporting now.
Exporting. Okay. They can't even get infection-free tools that they need in order to make sure that the patients are safe. And so he feels that they should rebuild the hospital, and they can rebuild at a Sinahania location. And it's a 2-year project, and this was back in 1998. This is Tyrone Taisino's planning in 1998. TikTok, TikTok. It's 1998 to 2019. That is 21 motherfucking years later that Tyrone Taisino's brilliant fucking plan hasn't been implemented. And now Governor Leon Guerrero has him working as the director of the Bureau of Statistics and Plans, the same agency from which the Guam Planning Commission comes from. And now this dude is like, now he's all over trying to take over the Hagåtña Master Plan. And then we found him during this one day in April of this year, I believe it's April 18, sent to the Banking and Insurance Commission as a one-time designated board member. Now, we've been looking through the Guam Code Annotated to see where it allows cabinet members to serve on boards and commissions like this. We can't find the authority. Yeah? What's up? Is it like one of those like little mistakes? Because I don't want to keep people waiting too long. Well, she has it in all caps. I am sending a new one. Don't use that. And the person I'm talking about, like, nobody can scream louder than her. So I'm not about to fuck with that. So are we sure?
I'm asking her now.
Okay. So, you know what? Let's see if we can throw something up and take a little break. I did want to do this later on in the show, but I'll do this now because I think we need the time. Sorry about this, everybody. Let me just throw something up here. Cello prep to go to my screen.
Go ahead and go to your screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we on my screen now?
Yes.
Where do you live? How old are you? What color is your shirt?
watched this video 8, maybe 9 times already, and I just it doesn't get easier each time I watch it. And the reason I was supposed to bring this up later on in the live cast, but the reason I wanted to bring it up again was because it's so easy in the news cycle to forget about events because so many things happen on this island, and this family doesn't deserve for us to forget about what happened to this baby. This is not to mention the fact that his killer, Marlene Ewely, is roaming around our streets with probably with her same stupid fucking car. Sorry, I'm just getting messages from our. Are you taking care of So, not to mention that she's free on our streets. It's a Friday night, and on top of having to worry about all the stupid drivers that are out there, all the people who are going to be driving intoxicated or drugged or whatever. Now we have to worry about Marlene Ewely, not just at night, but in the daytime or at any time of the day when she decides to drive like the reckless fool that she is, and hit another kid. I don't know why our judicial system is like this. I don't know why the prosecutor decided to tell the judge that, they agreed with the release of Marlene Ewely prior to her trial. But it's just fucking ridiculous already. And I've seen many of the comments that you made on not just our pages, but also, the different news pages about this. And you're all right. All of you are right. It makes no sense. The judicial system seems stupid to the reality that is our island. And I saw a post by Paul Blas asking, what the fuck is going on with our island? And Paul Blas is one of the administrators of Mariana's Dirty Laundry. Many of you know him. They call him Cucks. I consider him like a barometer of the pulse of this community. Like when Paul Blas says something, I take that as what many people are thinking as well. Just someone who understands what the rest of the community is thinking. And so when he posted that, what the fuck is going on in our community, it makes me believe that many of you are asking the same thing. And it's decisions like that, decisions like what the judge made in releasing Marlene Ewely that has us questioning justice in our society. But that's what we're here for, to call it out, to pressure the powers that be, to get them to make the right decisions, to let them know that we're watching, and that we'll call out their bullshit every step of the way. Now back to the whole Tyrone Taitano thing. So, Tyrone was part of the Gutierrez administration. He was a big part of the Gutierrez administration. This was back before he was married to Senator Kelly Marsh Taitano. Back then, she was Dr. Kelly Marsh Kautz, or I don't even think she was a doctor yet. So, unrelated to her. But our investigations will get to her at some point. So, when we looked at Tyrone Taitano's application to the executive branch, where he filled the role of Director of Statistics and Plans just this past January, we noticed that he left out in his previous employment 3 years that he worked at Guam Memorial Hospital. And we remember that he worked there because it was during his tenure that lots of litigious actions were taken that ended up in settlements, that ended up in criminal indictments and convictions of several people, one of whom was Dr. Vivian Batoyan Sigisi. And so then we decided to look further. What was Tyrone trying to hide? by not putting on his application that he was for 3 years the administrator of Guam Memorial Hospital. He just put down that he was a special assistant to the governor. And so Johnny did some digging along with our other investigator, and they found out that, and this was never reported in all these years, and all this speculation that there was about corruption in the Gutierrez administration, that he was a big ass snitch. Yeah. And that kind of thing kind of runs in that family. And that'll be for another story, but let me see if the package is ready. They're telling me to stretch it a little bit longer. Well, I'm not going to stretch it by going to my personal expose that I promised all of you. But we'll hold on for that. Well, let's just go to the comments then and see what you guys are saying. I'm sorry about the wait. Just don't worry. It'll be a good one. How long is the package, Cello? Is it like 7 minutes?
It's now it's like 3.5,
3.5 minutes?
almost 4.
Yeah, it's a stunning piece. How the fuck do I see all the comments? Oh, Jenna Chrysostom commented on a photo that I'm tagged in. One time board member, what in the make shit up as you go along, fuck is that? Well, Brad, we're trying to find out. And it has something to do with the Insurance Association of Guam. And it has to do with training. We found some stuff in the disclosures. We found some stuff in the disclosures that seemed to point at a very big conflict of interest in that one time fuck as you go kind of shit is that designated board whatever thing. It's very interesting. Okay, I think our video is ready. Hold on. How do I? Okay, go ahead and go to my screen. The video is ready.
Okay.
Are we on it?
Yes, we are.
Tyrone Titano and FBI case 194A-HN-16765. Most people have never even heard of this, but tonight, Candid News exposes one of the most secret snitch files in the history of Guam politics. In the year 2002, shockwaves spread across the island as several doctors and high-ranking Guam Memorial Hospital officials were indicted in federal court in a public corruption case being investigated by the FBI. The allegations stemmed from accusations taken during late 1999 and early 2000. During the time, the hospital administrator was Tyrone Titano. The former administrators were convicted of fraud in a federal case based on actions conducted while Tyrone Titano was one of the administrators. However, Mr. Titano was the only official not touched. He suddenly resigned from GMH in January of 2000 and left government service completely. Yet, he had his immediate family members go to bat for at least one of the defendants by submitting letters to the judge asking for leniency during her sentencing, and even helped another defendant later get work in the legislature, where they worked together as colleagues again. But years later, in 2009, case filings appear in some of the previous fraud cases in which the Attorney General of Guam was seeking grand jury transcripts from the federal government case for their local GMH corruption case. In it, they noted the numerous files in the FBI case 194A-HN-16765, which includes extensive records on Tyrone Titano's cooperation against all of the defendants and also against former Governor Carl Gutierrez. For many years, Tyrone tried to stay under the radar, and knowing that his past at GMH and cooperation with the feds, he instead offered up his wife Kelly Marsh Titano, who begrudgingly told numerous supporters during her campaign that she was being forced to run by her husband, who handled every aspect of her campaign, to include scripting out everything she said publicly. But then his support for Lou and Josh got him another shot at running GovGuam agencies and finances. As director of the Bureau of Statistics and Planning, he was nominated in January and his confirmation packet transited to the legislature. However, Candid News examined his packet that senators used to confirm him and discovered that his application is completely void of any mention of having worked at GMH. Instead, it only says he worked at Avenue. But even documents submitted by GMH to the public auditor for an audit that took place several years ago show that Tyrone Titano was the administrator of GMH from 1997 until January of 2000. Why would Tyrone Titano try to hide from the legislature his role at Guam Memorial Hospital? Especially since he signed under oath in his application sent to lawmakers that the information he was submitting was complete and truthful, knowingly violating the oath, which has criminal sanctions for violations. While Tyrone Titano not only wants to hide this small failure at GMH to include his laughable planning for a new hospital in Chalampago within 2 years that never saw the light of day, but he also wants to hide his shameful past as ratting out everyone, leading them straight to indictment and conviction, all the while saving himself, when all along the basis of the acts of fraud took place under his watch as GMH administrator. Maybe Tyrone Titano, who is in the secret Mark Charfer's recordings. Let's go back. Why would Tyrone Titano try to hide from the legislature? Maybe Tyrone Titano, who in the secret Mark Charfer's recordings bragged about his ability to manipulate the media and twist the truth to cover up corruption, never thought his past would be revealed. Then again, Tyrone Titano clearly underestimated Candid News, because we don't stop until we bring what you've done in darkness to light. For Candid News, I'm Johnny Rosario.
So, well, we had a little mess up in the cutting of that. Sorry, we've been rushing this the entire night to bring this to you because we just dotted our last I and crossed the last T earlier tonight on this package. Not on the package, but on the investigation into it. Because, well, we had a hard time believing, and so we just had to go back and verify. We had a hard time believing that all of these years, nobody knew that Tyrone was the snitch in all of these federal investigations against the Gutierrez administration. And all the while, he's just smoozing it up with former Governor Carl Gutierrez while he's stabbing him in the fucking back. Yeah. And not just former Governor Carl Gutierrez. Lots of people went to jail for the misdeeds at Guam Memorial Hospital. Lots of people had their lives ruined because of it. And what if some of them were actually innocent? And it was Tyrone Titano who was actually guilty. But as they say, or as is commonplace in federal and local investigations, if you snitch first, you get your freedom. So Tyrone's just a little bitch, you know? Couldn't handle the thought of spending a day in jail, so he offered everybody else up. Probably even made up stuff about their involvement in things. And all those people just manned it up, you know? Some of them went to trial. Some of them pled their innocence in the whole thing and said, I had absolutely nothing to do with that. Yet Tyrone Titano, in all of these federal filings that we found years later, they discuss how he was very much involved as the snitch during this period of time. See, don't fuck with us. Don't try to lie to us because we sniff that shit out. And on that note, 48 hours have passed since I warned my personal enemies, people who have been apparently working against me for a couple of years now. I didn't know, like I didn't think much of it. I was high for like at least one of those years. When I became sober, I had to deal with my past because it all just came flooding back. And dealing with it hasn't necessarily been easy. As a matter of fact, it's been tough because I had to come to terms with things that I've done to hurt other people. And I have hurt many people. Not in the sort of way where like I step on people to get a to get up in the world. No, I was never that kind of person. But I hurt them because I wasn't in my right mind. And that's not a great excuse or anything, but it's the truth. I wasn't in my right mind and I made decisions that hurt people, and so I am now atoning for my sins. And the best way to deal with shit like this is just to pull the band-aid off real quick. So I gave people who had been lying to my ex-boyfriend and causing him to believe things that were not true about me, causing him great pain. I gave them 48 hours to confess what they'd done. Otherwise, I would just expose it here. Some of them are just personal. Maybe you won't give a shit about it. Maybe it makes for good Mariana's dirty laundry, but at least one of them deals with a high-ranking government of Guam employee who actually works at the governor's office. I'll get to him last, because that'll be the really fun one. But my expose tonight actually has something to do with not just one, but two ex-boyfriends. Let me just get right to it. Mike. Now, since we've been broken up, been like what, 3 years now? I have since discovered the reason you never really discussed finances with me. Now, because I'm a gentleman, I will not say to everybody what those reasons are. And because, you have some of my dogs who I never get to see because your wimp of a husband is a pussy. But I just want you to know, and I've never lied to you before, that not only was your husband cheating on you, at least back in the beginning of your relationship, but maybe your husband, it's a good idea that you didn't put your assets in your husband's name. Maybe this is something that he doesn't even know about, but I found out about. I just want to thank you, Mike. I did not know until after our relationship that you had two checking accounts at Community First, and the one where all of the assets were, the busy checking account, had my name on it. And so for the last 3 years, I've known that I was able to withdraw all of that money from your checking account, but I never did. Never did, because I never cared about the money. And then, I don't know if you've changed your beneficiary yet, but you should, because I'm not your boyfriend anymore or whatever. And I really hope you don't put it in your husband's name because he's a gold digger. You should probably put that money in the name of like one of your siblings or your nieces or nephews or whatever. That's one. It feels so good to get that off my chest. I've known about that for like 3 years. And the truth shall set you free, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to the next ex-boyfriend. He's the one who I hurt. And I have a lot of making up to do in order to bring peace to that situation. So, I know that he is upset with me about the bullshit that I pulled after our relationship. I want him to know. And it was because of how that might affect his aunt. His aunt is the current governor. So, remember when I told you guys that you would be so surprised about what I had to do with the election of Lulian Guerrero? Because ain't nobody know this. I work in quiet and secret. Not all the time, but people don't know the extent of my involvement in the Leon Guerrero campaign after the primary election. And I don't know myself why I got so involved. Except that I really didn't want Ray Tenorio to win. But a little part of me also told me that as a gentleman, I needed to help this person who I hurt. My ex-boyfriend, because his aunt was running for governor. So I want to show you something. I want to show you a couple of clips. 4 clips altogether. 2 of them are 30 seconds long. One of them is 2 minutes long. The other one is a minute long. And they're back-to-back comparisons between the Calvo Tenorio campaign in 2010. That was when Eddie Calvo was first elected governor. And the Leon Guerrero Tenorio campaign in 2018 when Lulian Guerrero was elected governor. And just know that I was the one who authored the scripts for the Calvo Tenorio commercials. Take a look. Let's go to my screen now, Chelu.
As governor, quality health care will be the standard. Your family's health a priority. We'll provide the resources needed to keep our hospital accredited and to serve you even better. We'll pursue Medicare for government retirees to lower healthcare costs for all GovGuam workers. And we'll build more community health centers to make it easier for you to get the care that you need. Your voice is so important, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Okay, that is Eddie Calvo in 2010. Here is Lulian Guerrero in 2018 on a healthcare ad. Well, let me find it. Stronger economy. Oh, here. Quality healthcare, 11 months ago. Back on my screen?
As a nurse, I cared for thousands of patients at their time of greatest need. I know how important it is to have our only public hospital accredited. With your help, Josh and I will change our island's approach to healthcare. We will reduce insurance costs, make sure there are enough beds at GMH, better utilize public health centers, and invest in the latest technology. We will get the job done. I'm in to help get us there, and I humbly ask for your vote.
I'm Lulian Guerrero, and I approve this message.
Sound familiar? And then, sorry, I have 6 altogether. Next one is education. Here's Eddie Calvo on education in 2010. I wrote it.
In the Calvo Tenorio administration, your children's education comes first. We will build new schools and fix the schools we have. Classrooms will be safe, cool, and not overcrowded. We'll make sure that our students and teachers have the books and resources they need. And I will work together with all our educators to make sure our students are prepared for Guam's exciting future. Your voice is so important. I humbly ask for your vote.
Now let's check Lou and Josh in education.
Our workforce is changing, and our students need to be prepared for the challenges that are ahead. I graduated high school at GCC when we could learn a trade and even prepare for college. Our students deserve schools that are safe and books and resources that help prepare them for their future.
El Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration will rebuild Simon Sanchez, fix our schools, integrate technology in the classroom, and expand access to trades. I'm in to help get us there, and we humbly ask for your vote.
And finally, there's something called a final appeal in every campaign. This one, knock your fucking socks off because it is almost an exact replica.
This campaign has been a wonderful journey. I'm humbled by the outpouring of support that so many of you have shown to our campaign. You've brought us into your homes and allowed us to share with you our vision for the future of Guam. Over the past several months, we have seen the goodness of our people. And with you by our side, we can all achieve the Guamanian dream.
As election day draws near, we understand that you have a big decision to make. A decision that will impact the future of our great island.
Throughout this campaign, we've listened to your concerns and have worked with you to develop Blueprint 2020. Our guiding principle will be that every decision we make will allow Guamanians to dream more, learn more, do more, and most importantly, become more.
Our priorities will be to create more jobs, better paying jobs, and provide a superior quality of life for all Guamanians.
We will prioritize education, provide exceptional healthcare services at an affordable cost, and give public safety professionals the tools they need to better protect our families and the community.
With you by our side, we will ensure that the Guam buildup will be on terms and conditions that benefit all of our people.
Ronald Reagan once said, each generation goes further than the generation preceding it because it stands on the shoulders of that generation. We will utilize every available resource to ensure that we all have more opportunities to prosper than those generations before us.
We want to thank each and every one of you for your contributions to our beautiful island, and we will not let you down.
There's a new day dawning on Guam.
There's a new direction about to set sail.
On November 2nd, we humbly ask for your vote.
Please vote Calvo Tenorio for Governor or Lieutenant Governor.
Si Diyos Masi,
Maraming salamat po.
Viva Guam!
Viva Guam.
Now, finally, let's check Lou and Josh's final appeal.
Half a day in Mabuhay. Over the past year, you have welcomed us into your homes and shared your views about the way things have been and your ideas of what they can be. We've listened, and your hopes for our future have fueled our campaign for positive change.
Lou and I have plans to grow our economy, including tax breaks for small businesses, fixing our roads and infrastructure, and investing in education and technology. We will increase police in our villages, focus public health on prevention, regain GMH accreditation, repair schools, and keep our children safe.
This election is about our future, and we believe that everyone who calls Guam home deserves better.
Our best days will be ahead if we reach for them together.
I will be a governor for everyone, no matter who you are or where you come from. I am Leon Guerrero. I approve this message, and I humbly ask for your vote. On November 6th, let's make history together.
Well, Jesus Christ, don't they all just sound the same? Yeah. So, just so y'all know, in the administration, I don't have a job with the administration. I'm not benefiting from it. But where do you think those winning commercials came from? Because it certainly wasn't from Tony Babalta, or from Francis Santos, or Dan Tidinko, or Tyrone Titano. Not one original thought, except the one that reaches back to 2010. Now, all of these months, it's not like I've claimed credit for it or anything. No. I was just happy to do my part. And so I wanted to say that, not for anyone else, but to make peace with my ex-boyfriend who thought that I didn't give a shit about his aunt in that election. But I did. Now, 2 years ago, we split up. And yes, it had something to do. Well, he didn't know about my drug use until later. Until he asked me, and I admitted it. And I didn't realize until later the reason he asked me, because obviously someone had to put it in his ear. But the drug use was only in the last couple weeks of the relationship anyway. But then I started over the past several weeks to find out about different things said to him after our breakup. And then I thought, that's not fucking true. That's not true. Well, where in the world did he hear this stuff from? And then I remembered a couple of things. So I'm gonna tear this Band-Aid off. And it is going to implicate me as well in some wrongdoing. And just right off the bat, I'm sorry about it, because I'll be a man about it and admit it and apologize. Because what is most important, you know, you may be mad at me or whatever, but at least I'm gonna make peace about this. Maybe 6 weeks to 2 months after the breakup. And this was after something, I was mad at him because of some money issue. It was a money issue that had me file something in court. And shortly after that, 2 of his best friends and one of his other friends hit me up. And he knows about one of those best friends. And I think it's a reason that they're no longer best friends. But the person who probably told him about that little tryst, which really was nothing, actually, because it never actually got anywhere, because he wanted to do things that I didn't want to do. Boy, I'm shaking here. His other best friend, I don't need to say his name, you know who it is. I just want you to know that your other best friend did even worse than that first best friend of yours. That he came over under the guise of telling me things, which turned out to be false anyway, and taking advantage of my vulnerability and the pain that I was in. And I ended up sticking it in. And I did that like 3 or 4 times. And I'm not proud of myself for it. And I'm sorry. And I know that that is not something that you want to hear. But it is the truth. And I thought that you should know so that you weren't surrounded by so many sharks. And there are others of your friends who tried to do the same thing. And there's one more friend, I don't even know, I can't even remember his name. That's how terrible I am. Um, he tried to get to first base, but it didn't work that way. And then, well, so remember I told you that there was, he asked me if I was doing drugs while we were in a relationship, and I told him yes. I found out just within the last couple weeks that the reason he asked me was because he found a pipe in a box and some stash. And when he told me that, I thought, well, the first thing I knew was that it wasn't my pipe because I didn't use a pipe. I used syringes. I shot his stuff up. And then it dawned on me that there is this person who he got involved with after our relationship. Probably same sort of thing, took advantage of his vulnerabilities. And is a crackhead. Unbeknownst to my ex, this guy does ice. And I know this, and this is gonna sound a little sordid. I know this because this same guy also hit up my previous ex-boyfriend after that whole whatever. And my previous ex-boyfriend, so we had an open relationship. He's telling me all about it, about drugs and everything. And so that's actually how I know about the crackhead thing. And then I was invited to a couple of gay type of parties where that kind of thing happens. So I happen to know he's a crackhead, but I didn't think anything of it. I didn't. And maybe I should have thought something like, well, he was into my ex-boyfriend, now he's into my other ex-boyfriend. And it wasn't until maybe 3 weeks ago, I was talking to somebody on Messenger, and he asked me, why does Adrian Cruz hate you? And first I didn't know who he was talking about. I was like, who's Adrian Cruz? He said, the guy that works at the governor's office. I said, well, I didn't know he hated me. He has no reason to hate me. I've never done anything to him. And I proceeded to tell him, well, I did find it kind of weird that he was after, both of my ex-boyfriends, after the fact and whatever. And he said, well, he's going around town saying this, that, or the other thing about you, all this stuff about drugs and whatever. And then I was like, yeah, but he's a druggie himself, why is he talking shit about me being on drugs? And then it dawned on me something that was innocuous at first, that when the Leon Guerrero administration started, he went around town telling people that his title was senior advisor to the governor, which was, I thought oh, very good, that's good for Adrian, that's the job that I had. I was the senior advisor to the, hey, good for him. And he would call me and he would ask me for advice on ask me for my templates, ask me for some of the writings that I had on the decolonization venture. I thought that we were friends, And all this time, I had no fucking clue that this dude was just obsessed with my fucking life. Because I've never had anyone like that. I've never had a goddamn golem on me, And then when I found out about this whole pipe thing, I was like, motherfucker, this dude left a goddamn pipe in a box with some stash because my ex was talking about how he was suspicious that I was on drugs, and there the fuck it was, setting my ass up because he was the only one who had access to his place in the weeks after we broke up. And so I had no other way of explaining this without looking like a dumb fucking fool, except to just tear this goddamn Band-Aid off. And I gave the motherfucker 48 hours to confess it on his own, but no. And I should have, what else should I expect? Pathological liars will never admit to their lies. But know this about me, you gay fucking fools. trying to fuck with my life, that everything that's happened over the last couple of years was meant to happen exactly as it did. No matter what kind of pain or heartache I went through, I am the person I am today because of everything that has happened. So in that respect, thank you. However, and this is a big however, I gave you all motherfuckers a chance over the last 48 hours to clear this up on your own and to be men on your own. And since you couldn't, you better fucking believe that now I have opened a new chapter of Even Steven on each and every one of you for what you tried to do to me a couple of years ago, thinking that I would never find out and that I would never do anything about it. I don't play like that. No. So, you'll never see me coming. Mm-mm. You will never see me coming, and I fucking warned you. Let's choose a good song. What's a good song for this? To close this shit out. The beginning of a new chapter. Next, I'm gonna look at the governor's office staffing pattern and see who else is a crackhead. Don't worry. If you did nothing bad to me, we're good. But Adrian, you should probably take a drug test, buddy. Good night, everyone.